What's going on, guys? We are finally here for the finale of Obi Wan Kenobi. I don't even know if I have the words right now of how much just the intensity behind this episode. And I will say this, there has been a lot of concern around Obi Wan. There's been a lot of back and forth between the fandom. But this, if you are a prequels fan, this was absolutely incredible, and I'm praying that the fandom did enjoy this. I know I enjoyed this because not only, key word, not only did we get to see familiar faces return, we had a big cameo in this episode, guys. So the entirety of this episode is when you have Vader going after the ship that Obi-Wan's on, and it's just major blasting fire. And also you see where Vader is trying to intimidate Obi-Wan. Now, I will say what was absolutely crazy was you had where Obi-Wan finally just says, hey, I'm going to have to face Darth Vader. If I face Vader, he will chase after me. And he does this so that way he can give them a chance because he knows the ship's not going to last very much longer. He tells the one Haja to look after Leia, and when this happens, he even tells Leia, he starts explaining to her, and we finally go down where Obi-Wan goes to fight Vader. Guys, let me tell you this, to the nitty and gritty, they did good with this. They showed Obi-Wan's signature form. They brought back different things that are from Revenge of the Sith to Rebels into this part. They had where he even says, I will do what I must. And Vader was like, then you will die. And this is probably the second best fight after Revenge of the Sith fight. And I loved it. I loved it so much. And we saw them going back and forth. We really showed how Obi-Wan was getting on Vader, and then Vader had the upper hand. And we even see more of how you fail, my master, and just everything. And he starts slamming Obi-Wan down into the dirt, having rocks just go over and over and over and over him. And then finally, the only thing that's keeping him alive is the sheer will of the Force, where he is holding on and he's remembering looking after Luke and Leia. Basically, his niece and nephew. I don't care what anyone says. That is his niece and nephew. Because you have to understand this. He loves Leia and he loves Luke like his own. Those are his godchildren. That's his, niece and nephew, if you really want to get technical. And that gives him the strength to fight back. And then even when Vader thought he killed him, he starts walking, and then we see where he starts going after Vader again, and they just start going at it. They just start fighting, and they start fighting. And when this happens, you just see him fighting. Obi-Wan finally gets the hand, and it shows how powerful Obi-Wan is in this episode. It shows how powerful he is. And what happens is when we see all the rocks form against Vader, and we see that quote that really stuck in my head in Clone Wars, where he said, I'm very appreciative to be Master Obi-Wan's apprentice. He's as powerful as Master Windu, but he's also as wise as Master Yoda. And I love that. I think it was absolutely amazing. And we finally got to see more after Obi-Wan gains the advantage over Vader. He cuts his armor off. He cuts his face to where it shows half of the helmet gone, like we finally got to see in Ahsoka versus Vader. And we got to see this, man. Oh my god. We got to see the same thing where you will die. Same thing from Rebels. They took from Rebels, and they took this scene from Rebels, where we got to see Hayden Christensen in the damn suit, guys. We got to see him in the suit. This scene was so amazing. where there was actually the performance between Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen was absolutely phenomenal. Where he even tells him, "I'm not your failure," and this is a mix between his voice and James Earl Jones, where he even says that you did not kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. He admits, Vader admits, because everybody do not understand. Obi-Wan never really realized that Anakin, when he became Vader, it's like he had just a different personality. He just had a different personality. It's like he had two different personalities. And you see where he says, "I'm sorry, Anakin, for everything." And then finally, when he starts looking at him and he sees what he's become, and he even says that I destroyed him, and he even says, "I will destroy you like I did him." And he just looks at him and he says, my friend's truly dead. And that's when he says, "Goodbye, Vader." And then he just leaves. And we see him just yelling for Obi-Wan. And he just goes to go help Luke, because during the same time this is going on, we see where Reva, she's trying to go after Luke. She's looking for Owen. And she finally figures out where they are. Owen goes to his wife. He starts informing her, "Hey, this is what's going on." And she even says she was ready. Like, again, I'm not a big fan of Owen Lars. I've never been a big fan of his. I like Peru. She's more open. She's more caring. She's a very more, I think, of a lovable character. But Owen, he's just one of those where you don't really like him. And at the same time, I love how it kind of even Reva, is going up against Owen, and she even says that you love him like your own. He says, "Well, he is my own." And in a way, yeah. I mean, because he did raise Luke from a baby. Him and his wife raised him from jump. I mean, till he was, 18? About 17, 18 years old. Yeah, so again, that is in a way his son. But at the same time, we got to see where Reva, she gets the upper hand. She goes after him. But then what was so amazing is she even goes after him, and she gets the upper hand on Luke, because Luke runs away. She's able to catch up to him. And right when it looks like she's about ready to kill him, she sees glimpses of herself as Luke. And she can't do it. She can't kill him. And she brings him back to the family. She brings him back to Obi-Wan. And she even tells him that she couldn't do it. She couldn't kill him. She felt like it felt like she couldn't do what she needed to do. And when this happens, Obi-Wan finally tells her that you honored your youngling brethren, and that you're not like Vader. And he says, "You can stop. You don't have to be like that." So now that they're both finally free, and then finally where it goes back to Vader, and he's looking for Obi-Wan on Mustafar, and obviously he had to have his suit repaired and replaced, we have another surprise. We had Ian McDermott return. He, it's Palpatine / Sidious. He was talking to Vader, thinking that, he's still there, and he says, "No, my only goal is to serve you, my master." So we got to see that. Then we got to see Obi-Wan return to Tatooine. But now before then, going to go see Leia. Leia putting on just this outfit from the gloves that Obi-Wan gave her, the holster that was from the Wantala, and I think that is the same holster that she carries throughout the originals, which is absolutely incredible that they insinuate on that, how much this woman was a big impact on her as a child, and how she wanted to make a difference. And he even tells her later on, when Obi-Wan shows up to say goodbye to her, that he tells her certain characteristics that she has of her father and her mother. And I will even say this, the performance by the young actor who plays Leia, I think she would make Carrie Fisher very proud. I think she would. I think this was beautiful. I think it was amazing seeing Ewan McGregor and the actor that plays the young Leia, and all I saw was Alec McGuinness, as well as also Carrie Fisher, and it was absolutely amazing. And then finally at the very end, where Obi-Wan's finally about ready to leave, and we see where he even tells Owen that, protect him, and kind of like, protect him, but I'm going to be around. And then he says, "Well, Ben, would you like to meet him?" And we finally get to have our boy say the classic line of "Hello there," giving Luke the toy that we see in episode 4. It all comes around full circle. And then right when it ends, y'all, they did something else. We finally got to see Qui-Gon Jinn in ghost form. Oh my God. And he finally said, it took you long enough. And he's like, I've always been here. You just need to see. So finally, this is when, at this point, Qui-Gon Jinn is going to be teaching Obi-Wan the same thing how Yoda is to become a Force ghost when the time comes, of how quickly he was able to help Luke when he gets killed by Vader. So this is absolutely amazing. I think this episode was absolutely beautiful. It literally brought tears to my eyes. I mean, I had tears bring to my eyes when the conversation between Anakin and Obi-Wan. This, again, if you saw Revenge of the Sith in theaters like I did as a kid, then this will definitely hit you. And just the power between Hayden and Ewan is just so amazing. And then same thing with Ewan McGregor and with Luke, and seeing, you know, like Alec Guinness and Mark Hamill in that moment, and seeing Carrie Fisher and Alec Guinness. This really goes to show not only how much of a Star Wars fan I am, but how much I love Star Wars, how much Star Wars has affected me in my life. And I love it, man. I mean, I have so much love and respect for Ewan McGregor as not only the character, but also as a person, because he brings his character to life so much. And that's how powerful it is. Again, I was not a fan of Reva. I think finally she made a big turnaround, and I think they're going to use that to their advantage somehow later on down the line. But also, I think that this is going to be possibly good, maybe for Star Wars, but I don't know. They brought a lot in that I know a lot of people loved, and I can't wait to see what we're going to do. We're going to get season 2. That is undeclared at the moment. I know it was said that Ewan as well as Hayden are going to be fighting to make a season 2, and I think that's going to be absolutely incredible. I think it's going to be very beautiful to see them return as these two iconic characters, to see what the world has in store for Obi-Wan as well as Anakin. There's so much more they can write in, and it actually somewhat fits, but at the same time, I'm hoping it does fit. That way we can see these characters return, and that way we can still want more. Again, this was the best episode. Less Reva, more Obi-Wan, more Vader, everything that we want. This is what we wanted. This is what I was waiting for all season, was Vader versus Obi-Wan. This is what I wanted. This is what we finally got. Are you guys happy? Are you guys satisfied with this episode? I know I am. I'm hoping to see more. I may watch this again at some point, or some of the scenes. But guys, let me know what you think about this down in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe with a big fat like on the video if you guys enjoyed, and I'll always see you guys on the next one.